Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Third String Chronicles podcast. Today we are going to do a hot takes episode, given that it is now officially the dry part of the off season. We know that the Olympics are going to start in a couple of days. We're very excited for the tip off. We hope you are too. But for now, while we wait for the Olympics to begin, we're going to hear some of our most outrageous takes. We've had not a single one of us have shared these. These are all going to be brand new live reactions on the spot. So with that, Manas, you have perhaps the hottest of all the takes here in this group. Why don't you get us started?
So first hot take, KD will not be Sun by the end of the Phoenix, or by the end of the next season. And I say that because he's getting old, Beal's getting old, and I just think the roster is gonna end up imploding. Like
So
it's
you,
just like a crazy storyline too for the Suns. Like, oh yeah, they don't have their picks, they're gonna go through drama. Like it's just straight downhill. It's bound to happen, and I think it's next season.
so you think he's gonna get traded, or you think he's just gonna
He's
like
gonna
what?
get. He's gonna request a trade. Like the whole team is gonna implode. I think they're gonna be bad next season. Then Katie, obviously, considering it's Kevin Durant, he's gonna get mad.
Realistically, though,
And
what would a
then
trade look like? Like, what team has the assets to pay up for KD? Besides the obvious OKC Thunder, because, oh yeah.
he could be a spurt now, but
All
I'm
right,
just
all right.
joking for that.
I
Uh,
don't know. I don't think I
if
like
we
this one.
think of
OKC
teams,
Thunder.
I mean, OKC doesn't, or if there's not a big enough market, then the team that's trading for him, like OKC, would not have to give up as much because the market decides what the value is, not the team trading him.
Oh wait.
Right.
Going back to that, I'm almost answering my own question. If that were for some reason to happen, which I don't think it will, obviously Houston is going to be the front runner for his services.
Oh yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
they got the Phoenix picks. That's a good
I
point.
forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't want to see Houston be good.
They won't be.
Where do we
But
think
yeah,
his
you say
best?
that. I'm
What do you think his
cool.
best fit landing spot is, though? Because I'm starting to
Fit
analyze
landing
this like
spots, OKC or Houston,
who needs
definitely.
a wing scorer who can kind of defend but is getting old and would be paying like 50 million next year, right? Who needs that?
The Grizzlies?
If I
Definitely
look around the
Houston now, if
league,
you think about it.
yeah,
Houston
but
does.
Houston just drafted a
OKC
bunch of
does.
tall wings in
Yeah,
the
but
past 2 years.
In
only
a way,
Whitmore's like the one that's actually been good, and even like then, there's still a lot of talks about his work ethic.
Who, Whitmore?
If he's really, yeah, he's definitely gonna be good in the NBA, but is he really gonna take that jump to like maybe 20 point per game score that you're gonna need at the wing position if you're the Houston Rockets?
I'm trying to think of like a good suitor. I mean, the
Telling you,
best fit that comes
OKC.
the
I like
best fit
that.
that comes to my mind,
Will you want to go
obviously,
back to OKC though?
it's
Bro,
not
think
gonna
about it.
happen.
I mean,
SGA,
it's gonna be
Dort,
elite.
Williams, KD, Chet. That's disgusting.
Dort's moved. Dort's got to be moved. It's gonna be Dort and Hartenstein
Are
for
we
salary
sure though the
purposes, and
Suns
then
aren't gonna
Pitt.
ask for a bigger
Wallace
piece?
and Hardenstein. No,
Would
but
be
I
the bigger piece will be
Wallace.
like 6, 7 first round picks.
I would
Yeah,
say
exactly.
right.
yeah. I was
The
gonna say
biggest.
Topic, but no, I don't think the
It's
Suns are
going.
gonna
It's
want.
gonna. I think
Yeah.
Dort will be moved in that scenario probably.
And even if it's
Hartenstein has
not
to be
Dort,
moved.
never mind. You have SGA, Caruso, Williams, KD,
Yeah.
Chet. That's
Exactly.
honestly probably better.
A weird fit that I thought about that just came to my mind would never happen in a million years, but the Indiana Pacers.
I thought about that too.
Really?
But
Why?
yeah,
Would
I
never
don't.
Having
happen,
Dort.
but they need that wing
Going on to
scoring. Imagine
my
him
next
with
take is actually about the Pacers, but we could
imagine
keep this going.
imagine Halliburton, KD, Siakam, and Miles Turner running an offense.
I guess you slot Neesmith in at the two for a
Neesmith or
shooting.
To be fair,
Nemhard. Well, Nemhard will probably
I
be in a
don't,
trade.
I don't
Nemhard
really
will
like
get
how
moved.
KD fits. I don't think KD fits the play style of the Pacers at his old age.
Well,
Yeah.
KD does prefer like a free flow offense, and I think that's what the
I
Pacers kind
mean,
of are.
yeah, but the Pacers are also just like trying to beat you in transition 24/7.
Yeah, no. As KD ages, his game is going to be harder to fit into an offense Because take a look at guys around the league who like to score slowly. And this was a big problem with like an aging Carmelo too. Was like he wasn't content just being a spot up, but also like no one wants a guy that's lost most of his burst but still needs about 5 seconds to put the ball in the basket. So KD's going to be hard to slot in around a very like twitchy guard that wants to get running all the time. Like Halliburton likes to run. So I don't like
But
to fit Indiana.
here's the thing with KD though. He relies more on shot making than shot creation. He he
That's fair.
doesn't create as much. He doesn't create that much space in his shots, anyways. He just shoots, and I mean he makes them. That's why he's so good.
That's why they
He
call him one
doesn't
of the
need
best shooters of
space.
all time. Yeah.
He's
That
a
is a
top.
very hot take, guys.
Right.
Making your shots makes you a better player. You heard it from Monis here first. Making your shots makes you a better player all time. Amazing take right there.
And
But
top
yeah, I
five
like
level
other
Houston
team.
honestly as a good landing spot
Yeah.
for him.
I mean, Houston does need wing creation too, because if you see the roster,
And he'd be
Brooks
great
is
help
not a
side
creator.
defense at his height and length for a guy like Şengün who really
Yeah.
is a great defender.
Hey, you know
Um,
what? Send KD to Orlando. That would be fun.
KD
I don't
for
like the fit,
Franz.
but it would be fun.
Franz Wagner, Wendell
They would have
Carter,
to
and
trade
some picks.
Franz. Yeah.
They would move Franz. They would
Well,
probably
Franz
move.
would be in the deal.
Yeah, they'd move Franz.
That's
They'd
fine.
move one of the guards. I don't know which one. Doesn't matter.
You know,
And
Anthony
Franz's
Black.
contract actually kind of matches that now. That's crazy that he's getting paid, or he's about to get
Yeah,
paid like
he's
$40
making
a year.
KCP, Suggs, KCP, KD, Paolo, and I guess
I'm just
Wendell.
in the
That's not
center.
bad.
Cole
No,
Anthony
Wendell
would stay.
actually goes
I would
with
keep
trade.
Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
Would you say moving what? How
Anthony
old is Markel?
Black.
He's like what, 26? Oh,
Markel's
Anthony
a
Black.
free agent, bro.
Yeah,
What?
Anthony Black's definitely would be
Markel
traded.
hasn't been signed anywhere. He's a free agent.
I didn't realize that. Wait, he's not been signed back yet?
Mm-mm.
That's a
I
shame.
don't
Yeah,
think he's gonna
still
go
a-
back.
a
They
free
brought back
agent.
Gary Harris instead.
Oh
They
no,
have
he's
guys like
definitely not coming back to the
Anthony.
Magic. He's not staying there. I don't know if any team's gonna pick him up, honestly.
Some team will take a flyer on him. I feel like it would be a
They
shame
should.
to
I'm
see him
surprised it
flame
hasn't
out.
happened already.
I'd love to see him go to a place
You know
like
who hasn't been
Toronto.
signed back yet? Isaac Okoro hasn't been signed back. I want him back. I think it's just a
Yeah,
matter it's a matter
Oh
of how much.
yeah, that's a sign and trade right there.
No, that's a
Yeah.
qualifying offer. He's going to take the 1 year and then try to get a bigger deal next year. And we won't be able to pay him next year.
Dude, and the
Yeah,
thing
and
is,
he's-
next
he's
year's
gonna
free
sign with
agency
the
market's going to be
Spurs.
better. So
Yes, it is, but also next year he's going to make a lot more money because this year everyone's already got their guys, and it was a lot of wings this year, like a lot of playable wings, you know. So like he fits the same like mold, not like type of player, but type of role that teams were looking for this year, but they got them first, not him. So he's just going to wait until next year where some people are going to need a Dylan Brooks again or something like that, and then he's going to get his money. But I do think he's going to pick up the qualifying offer at some point. It's like what, $8 million a year, which is more or less his market value, I think. He's not a great shooter, so. Anyways, that was a pretty lukewarm take out of Monis to open us up. I don't feel like that
Yeah.
was like incredibly hot. Who wants
My
to go
take
next?
isn't incredibly hot. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Lucas,
hear
you
it.
want to share your not incredibly hot take, your mild take with us?
All right. I feel like you might disagree with. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys are gonna disagree with this. My hot take is that the Atlanta Hawks are gonna be better than they were last season without DeJounte Murray.
Ew.
I agree.
That's disgusting.
think-
I hate
I don't
it.
know.
No,
I
I
think
love
it's
this
addition by subtraction. It's very
Yes, but the
You know,
East
Trae
is
Young-
getting stronger as the Hawks are per se getting weaker. Like
right.
the lineup around
But let's
Trae.
not
I mean, they got
don't-
Reece Sachet, but
right. Don't forget that the Hawks before DeJounte Murray and before everything kind of went to crap. They were one of the better teams in the East, and I think they still have the potential to be one of the better teams in the East. Not actually, maybe like bottom half of the playoff picture.
that's more like it.
But the ball's going to be in Trey's hands at all times. He's not going to have another guy like demanding ISO possessions like DeJounte did. And I like the whole reason they traded for DeJounte was to get a wing stopper that can help Trey. And then DeJounte regressed defensively. Like he was good at making like highlight defensive plays, but in a general sense and staying in front of his defender, he did not do a good job at that. So I think being able to slot somebody in who won't need the ball on an ISO level, that could maybe hone in on defense a little bit more. Although Bogdanovich probably isn't going to do that, and he probably starts. But also
Does
I
he?
like Dyson Daniels. I didn't like Dyson
Yeah.
Daniels in New Orleans, but I do
Oh,
like
Daniels actually
how he
would start.
looks.
That's who I
Yeah,
thought.
I
And he's an amazing fit with Trey considering,
yeah, because
his
he's
defensive
really good
abilities.
defensively.
Yeah.
So I really like that they got Dyson Daniels, and I do think it's going to be better for him in Atlanta because they have more shooters than New Orleans does. Um, It'll just be interesting. I don't think Reese Shea is going to be Rookie of the Year, but I do think he'll be able to contribute pretty well as just like a guy that can come in and hit shots his first year. You don't want to overload him. I also like Kobe Buffkin. I think Kobe Buffkin's going to be a pretty decent part of their backup lineup this year. And I mean, hopefully they put Okongwu to start. That's my only thing. I'm tired of seeing Clint Capella get the starting spot over Onyeka Okongwu. Um, so I would hope they give the reins to him. But I do think this is a big addition by subtraction move for Atlanta. Even though I still don't think they're going to be great, I do think they're going to be better than they were last year by getting rid of DeJounte Murray.
See,
Now,
here's
standing
my
wide, I could see them being better too, because the team, or from the teams under them, I don't think any of them have gotten better. And the team above, I think Chicago falls out. So
Oh yeah,
they finished
Chicago is
off
going to
as
be
the
bottoming
10th
out for
seed.
sure.
And I mean, they're probably guaranteed a top 9 seed next season, anyways, considering the teams below them, I don't think have gotten better.
Yep.
see here's like I would be more inclined to agree if last year we saw a full healthy season from the entire team and it was the big problem was just DeJounte and Trey simply did not like at every turn coexist. But like we saw for a good stretch down in the middle of last season, DeJounte was playing alone. Trey was hurt, and wasn't it he went for like two back-to-back game-winning 40-point like game-winning shot 40-point games,
He was going
and
triple doubles too.
yeah,
I
exactly. He was
remember that
doing
shit.
ridiculous stuff on offense last year while Trey was out. And my concern for like specifically in regards to are they going to improve standings wise, team fit wise, whatever it is this year is Trey is not guaranteed to play all 82 games. You know, highly likely he plays closer to 55 than 82. And that's a big problem now that you got rid of your only NBA, like high NBA quality shot creator on the roster, in my opinion. I'm not sold on, well, qualified. I really like Bogdan Bogdanovic, one of my favorite players who doesn't get talked about ever. Like you said last episode, could have been sixth man of the year before he got like kind of slowed down second half of the season, Lucas. But the big problem with him is he can't facilitate and score at the same level if he's required to do both consistently. You know, he can do one or the other, and we've seen him do one or the other, but he's always just doing the one or the other. He's never doing both. Um, and then Dyson Daniels, who for pre-NBA was playing in a terrible G League system. He came from the Ignite, right? I think, or did he come from?
Dyson was Ignite, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
terrible Ignite offense. He showed playmaking potential because he was a big highlight guy. He could dunk, he could run, he could throw the ball very far, but he couldn't shoot. And then he played in a dysfunctional offense in New Orleans where he didn't have shooters. He didn't have consistent, like healthy guys around him. You know, everyone was getting hurt, and he didn't have quality playing time either. So it's like, great, you're playing a guy who is more or less unproven on the NBA stage. You want him to play really well. You're giving him tools. He's got shooters now, right? But can you rely on him when Trey goes down? No, you can't. And Trey is going to go down at some point. I don't think they're going to do better. I think they're going to put up a valiant stand. But I think the fact that they have no true like backup option when Trey goes down, they're going to end up more or less in the same spot. That's my take.
I want to bring up the fact that I feel like every member in this podcast hasn't really been too high on Zachary Richasset. So going back to Hans' point, Trey's out. Bogdanovich isn't going to carry all the load, even if this is just like the 12 to 13 minutes a game that Trey is out. Do you expect Richasset to be that number one option? Because we've noted how he's
Jalen
not
Johnson.
trusted off the dribble. Jalen Johnson, I don't feel like is suited to lead that offense in those couple minutes. I feel like he's better just like as a second fiddle.
Jalen
But
Johnson
He
yeah,
can
be
lead an
as
offense.
long as you have somebody that can like get Jalen Johnson the ball in the pick and roll, Dyson Daniels, you'll get a lot of value out of him.
I
No,
don't
and
think
I know, but
Dyson
we
I
saw
feel
Daniels.
like
that last year. Like, is he really going to take another giant step up? He took a giant step last year, but is he
Not
going to
giant, but I do
crack?
think he'll be better.
yeah, he's definitely going to be better than last year, especially considering that he's going to get more opportunities on ball now that DeJounte's gone. And at the 4 position, like there's no competition at all. Because last year they
That
still
is
had
true.
DeAndre Hunter, or that he was
They
sort of competing with for that spot. But now it's pretty much clear to them that Jalen Johnson is their guy moving forward. And because of that, more opportunities will come for him.
Can I also say that, assuming Ricochet starts, I actually really like DeAndre Hunter off the bench. Like, I think that might be able to kind of help him have a bounce back year. Last year he was booty so
he's
bad,
been
it was funny.
though for like years. I mean,
He's been like years prior he was inconsistent, but I think last year he was
He
just
was
bad.
fine last year.
I don't know.
46%, 39 from 3.
Oh,
It's
oh,
fine.
never mind.
I'm honestly a little
Either way.
surprised. I'm looking at the standings that the Hawks went 36 and 46. I honestly thought they were a little closer to 500. That being
They
said,
were up until Trey got hurt, basically.
yeah,
Like they were playing like I think there was like a stat where it was like when like they play it was like a win and then a loss and then 2 wins and then 2 losses. Like it would always mirror itself. And then injuries came and they just won a couple because DeJounte was carrying them, but they
yeah.
couldn't keep up.
I mean, either way, I mean, look, maybe they take the 9 seed, but I see marginal improvement as the best case scenario for the Hawks, or just a likely scenario, not even really the best case. I see them maybe jumping up to 40 wins. I don't see them as finishing ahead of any of the 8 top teams in the East. The 8 that were
I
at
think they
top
can be
last
better
year.
than Cleveland.
I can think they could be better than Miami and Orlando if Orlando gets injuries.
No.
Well,
okay.
if
If
we're
we're
betting
injured,
on
fine.
injuries, we're not talking about injuries here. Like, realistically, Orlando's improved. Miami,
Guys, hide the Sixers fan
maybe
when we talk
close
about
to.
Not
injuries.
realistically.
Hide the
Orlando has
Sixers
improved
fan,
a
we're talking
lot
about
just by
injuries
getting
right now.
KCP.
Exactly. I don't think Orlando's going to take a big drop.
But if, let's say, Paolo
Big
gets, even a minor injury for 2-3 weeks, that
2-3
can
weeks
actually
isn't minor.
be a lot for dropping in. It could affect them a lot for the standings overall. Because, like, if you look at the standings, they were really close. It was a 1-game gap between the 5 seed and the 8 seed, and a 2-game gap between the 4 seed and the 8 seed.
Yeah.
So 2 games could determine if you're going to be in the play-in competing for that 7-8 spot, or if you're going to be, 5-6 seed guaranteed to be in the playoffs.
Then again, that's the same discussion on Atlanta's side of the ball, though. 2-3 game competition between 4 and 9. What happens if Trey gets hurt?
Well, last season was the first season we actually saw Trey miss a significant amount of time because
And guess what? They
other
won
than that,
games still
he's
because they had DeJounte Murray. Trey Young, we
right.
know, is not a durable man. I wouldn't say
No, but
he's prone, but
he's
he's not
played
durable.
75% of his games throughout his entire career except for last season. It was the first
But
That's
still,
not
if
an
he just got
incredible
a major injury, what's to
season.
stop him from getting something again? I mean, you can't bet on injuries in the NBA. You could
Yeah,
say,
I
oh,
don't
maybe
like
it's more
it,
likely
but
with
I
a
feel
guy.
like it's something
But
you got to
yeah.
think about,
But he's had 3 seasons playing over 72 games. So I don't think
feel
you
like-
can exactly take
I
that
feel
away
like that
from him.
logic is faulty, right? Because it's like, okay, well, let's look at the best teams in the NBA. The Bucks, well, Giannis is going to get hurt because he's gotten hurt the last 2 postseasons, so they have no chance. The Sixers, Joel Embiid always gets hurt, and Paul George gets hurt a
but
lot too. They
Joel
don't have a
Embiid
chance.
actually always gets hurt.
Yeah,
though.
Joel Embiid
Like,
is the only
that is a
obvious
true-
example.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
Paul George
that
gets
is a
hurt.
same
true-
with Paul George.
You
Paul George
If you wanna
came
use
back.
that
He
same
played a
logic.
bunch of games this year, but still, you can't know for sure if these guys are going to get hurt or not. You can't
right, but
bet
I
on
feel like
injuries.
that's an argument you can make for any team. Like, oh, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to suck again because their whole team was hurt last year. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
you don't know.
can't-
You wouldn't have
in
known
the
that
same
all this was going to happen.
right, but that's my thing. In the same way that you can't in the same way that I can't be like, oh, they're not going to get hurt and they're going to have a great season. You can't be like, oh, well, they're going to get hurt, and you have you can't do that in the NBA. Like, it doesn't work either way, you know? It's just like you have to play your cards and hope that your team stays healthy. It's not like like if Trey was hurt for over half of his games in multiple seasons, I can get it. But last year was his only significant injury. So I feel like the injury concern isn't as
It's not as
real.
big as it really
Yeah.
seems.
Yeah.
All right. That is certainly another hot take that we just heard. Perhaps a little on the milder side. I have a hot take now. Blast of the past 8 years ago, actually 8 years ago, 9 years ago now, we saw the
We'll have
beginning
another
of.
hot take. Sorry.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him. Trust.
Sorry, I just thinking out loud.
We saw the beginning of the Warriors dynasty, right? 2015, a young Warriors team, revolutionizing the game of basketball, going up against one of the game's most established names at that point in LeBron, and kind of running him out the building. And, everyone knows, like, this is common knowledge that the Warriors based their game off small ball with Draymond because even though he's 6'6", right? What is he, 6'6", 6'7" is his listed height?
I think he's 6, yeah.
6'6".
Yeah. Like PJ Tucker height, he is really effective because he can defend without being a vertical presence, and he could shoot the three ball, and he could pass really well. Now, my hot take is the Warriors dynasty only worked in that time span, which is roughly the mid 2010s, I'd say, because they ended in 2019 when Kawhi killed them, right? So it was like 2015 to
2022.
Well, yeah, but
They still won.
19, 20, 21, 3 years in between, right? I would say 2014 to 2018 was like the golden stretch for Warriors basketball, right?
Yes.
That only existed
I don't like where this is going.
so well because of the extreme lack of quality centers in the NBA. I would say if you had even 5 all NBA centers, think about it. Who were they?
DeMarcus Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis.
Okay,
They
well,
were
Marcus
DeMarcus Cousins like
Aldridge.
never
A
sniffed
young
it.
Joel Embiid who was emerging as an all-star.
Oh, booty.
Joel, are you
DeAndre
kidding
Jordan.
me?
No,
Anthony
Joel Embiid in
Davis.
2015.
Joel Embiid
Joel
played
Embiid
like
in 2015 didn't
30
play, bro.
games.
I'm
dude.
talking
He
on the
played-
later end of that stretch. Like, we're looking AD, DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins. There are many more. I mean,
And you couldn't
Brook
even make it
Lopez
out of the
was
second
good.
round back then.
No, look,
You still
in the
can't.
West Coast, who were the big men? DeMarcus and
Hold
AD
on.
played 1 year together, and that was it. Then DeMarcus got hurt, right? So they had 1 year. So it was AD, DeMarcus Cousins, and AD was only good towards the later half of that decade, anyways.
I'm gonna
DeAndre
tell
Jordan
you-
was fine, but he always needed a guy next to him. Like he
I'm
wasn't.
going to tell you exactly why I disagree with your take.
Go ahead.
I do think, and this actually kind of ties into what I was thinking for my take a little bit ago. Well, I do think the lack of really strong big men, especially because DeMarcus got hurt and AD, like the New
Was
Orleans
young.
teams were never that good.
Yeah, he was young. He needed a point guard then.
I do think that can play a part into it because obviously a strong big man plays into the weakness of Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bigger problem with Golden State is that you literally could not, because the league wasn't adjusted. They didn't know what to do with Steph and Clay on the floor together. The league did not know how to guard their 3-point shot. Like they didn't. I mean, we know Stephen Curry like revolutionized the whole league with 3-point shooting. Like it's like no team had an answer, and if they did, their team, like the rest of their team, was good enough to pick up. You know, it's like I think again, a good big man could make it harder for them to win, obviously, but I don't know. I think just what Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson as a duo did to the league and what they made teams do after they started winning is the real reason why that dynasty was as dominant as it was.
Yeah.
Well, let me posit to you this way then. Look at the big men we have around the yes, DeAndre Jordan, great guy, great player.
I said that as a joke, honestly, but you know.
No, I mean he was
So is
probably
above that.
he was probably one of the better centers in the entire league, right? Who else? Joakim Noah, Dwight Howard for a little bit.
That was before the Warriors' time.
Yeah, I'm
Powell
trying to
and
think,
Mark.
Pau
Yeah,
Gasol was still around.
the Gasols were still around for a bit, yeah. But compare that to now what we have today with basically three back-to-back-to-back MVPs who are big men, right?
Oh yeah, I
Giannis,
mean
Giannis
Jokic
to
and
Jokic
Embiid
to Embiid, right?
revived the center
If
position.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Let's say if you put Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid into the let's say it's the year 2016, you TP them back 8 years. Do the Warriors still look as dominant if they
yes,
have to play Jokic 4 times a year? If they have to play
yes,
Embiid?
But
If they have
those
to
It
play
teams had to
depends who's
Giannis?
play
around.
Steph and Clay 4 times a year as well. You gotta account
right.
for that.
It depends who's around them. Like looking at this Warriors team, they hit on all their moves. You drafted Steph at 7th overall, or in that first round, and he panned out after a
Lower,
couple of
right?
years.
Steph
You
was
you
lower.
drafted.
Steph was
I forget
seventh
what he.
overall.
I think it was 7th.
Really?
Yeah, you
Am I
drafted
tripping?
Clay.
Yeah,
I think it was 11th overall.
yeah.
In
Mm-hmm.
10th or
2011,
11th.
and that worked out. You drafted Draymond Green in the second round, that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
You got Iggy, that worked out. Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut were decent pieces. You had all these
Oh yeah,
guys
Bogut
on
was
this
a
team. It
great
wasn't
defender.
just two guys. So I don't
Yeah,
think the center position today would have limited the Warriors' success. We saw how talented they were, and in that era of
Right.
basketball, as Lucas mentioned, threes weren't as prominent. No one knew how to play that team. Even if you were to defend the 3-point line with Steph and Clay, you maybe double them. There's so many other players on the Warriors that could give you 20 a night and completely surprise you. So this team was just something else. I don't think their success was
and
due to the center position.
they revolutionized what basketball is today. And
Mm-hmm.
teams are at the point where, okay, these guys are doing this thing. We don't know how to tackle it. And
Yeah,
I don't
and
think specifically it was the way to tackle it was to get a dominant big man, because you look at it in that light, right? Okay, the big man, uh, putting a big man against this team will fix it, but in reality, it for their shooting, their 5-out offense, we've seen good big men get exploited through that. So
But can
would
they
those guys
realistically
be?
run 5 out though? Like let's say you go
Yeah.
sure you have
Hey, Draymond
Draymond.
shot 47, or not 47,
Yeah, but do you
37%
keep Draymond
during
on the
those
floor as a
years.
center when he's going up against someone who's
right,
7'1", like
that's
Joel?
kind of what I wanted to follow up with Manas. I think it's like, okay,
Like
let's
they'd be
just put
forced to
them
play Bogut,
against.
right? Maybe 30 minutes a game to match Joel
What
Embiid.
I was gonna say is let's just put them against the 2022 Nuggets because they're the most recent team with a dominant center, historic center that won. I think
Agree.
about that
23.
matchup specifically, with the star players. And if I look at that matchup and I'm like Steve Kerr, I think, okay, Jokic, he's going to dominate us in the paint. That's fine. And if we're looking at the context of the team, Draymond was still defensive player of the year level. He was, he's not going to stop Jokic, but he's going to be mad aggressive with him. So for me, it's like, would I rather have to deal with stopping Jokic, which granted is basically impossible, or would I rather stop the prime Warriors from chucking threes all game and them hitting 55% of them? Because the three is always going to beat the two. And if it's like a team that isn't the Warriors, you can take your chances, but it's the Golden State Warriors. Like, your 20-point lead can be erased in 5 minutes against that team. So it's like, you just need one of them to catch fire, and you might as well say goodnight for the day. Because, I don't know. I just think it's harder to stop Steph and Clay together than it would be to stop Jokic or Embiid or any of those guys.
Yeah,
Mm.
and the other thing is Steve Kerr also went out on Draymond's podcast and said that if you try to stop Jokic, you're not going to win because you can't stop him. You have
You
to
have to
stop
stop
the guys
everybody
around.
else. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not even about that. My biggest curiosity is what happens if you try to force their hand and make them not play the death lineup? What if you force them to move away from small ball? Do they end up being as effective if they don't have Draymond on the perimeter screening all the
I
time?
do think it makes things competitive. I'll give you that. But I don't think they
Right,
win.
they won 73 games. Do you understand how ridiculous? Like, do they win all 73
yeah.
of those games if they're forced to play not small ball some of the time? If teams have dominant centers
Yeah.
that
Actually-
Draymond can't one-on-one defend. Like he would have theoretically is able to one-on-one
Well,
defend a lob threat.
here's the thing.
Like it's easier to defend a lob threat, like a guy like I don't know Aaron Gordon who's just in the dunker spot, instead of defending a guy like Embiid in the post one-on-one all game long, right? You need a guy who's at least physically at that stature. So I wonder, what if the Warriors were forced to play an actual center all the time?
Well, that's the thing. That's why they surrounded, Steph and Clay with athletic wings that defend pretty well. Because you could double Jokic with Draymond, and then since they're quick and athletic, and high IQ, they have the time to go back and defend their guys by the time Jokic makes a pass out.
Yeah, that's well, okay. Well, we can't
But
I
it's
assume we don't have time to get into like another hot take because obviously we still have Noah's. But what I was thinking a couple minutes ago was really, I think if there's any team in that era that I would have loved to see match up with the Warriors that would have made it more competitive than dang near any team, would have been that New Orleans Pelicans team with DeMarcus Cousins and AD had
Yeah.
they not gotten hurt, because that team was genuinely kind of disgusting. It was
Drew
kind of
Holiday,
heartbreaking to see
too.
DeMarcus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You also
Yeah,
had a
but that's my
perimeter
thing,
stopper.
right? Because obviously they dominate the inside. They had Drew Holiday. They still had Rajon Rondo, who's obviously a good defender too.
Mhm.
Chris
They
Paul.
had personnel to at least bother their shooters.
they're Ryan Anderson.
Like Drew was clamping up Damian Lillard in one of those playoff series that New Orleans actually beat them. Drew was locking him up. Not to say Drew would clamp up Steph, obviously, but they had personnel to bother them. And obviously, you can double AD or DeMarcus Cousins. You're not going to double them both, and one of them is going to end up killing you. And that year DeMarcus was shooting fantastic from 3-2.
Mhm.
Like that would have been a team I would have loved to see Golden State play, because I think they would have been able to give them more competition than almost any team of that era. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, that was actually my inspiration. Was I was watching like a highlight tape from the Cousins AD era, and I was like, dude, why did this team not win more in an era where all the centers were weak and everyone was moving towards small ball as the Warriors were doing it? Where did this team go? And it was just shame injuries happened. But I guess that's the way things
Yep.
roll. Noah, your turn.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. I like the takes that have been said so far, but I'm gonna bring it up a notch. We're gonna go to the standings for next season. Past the standings, we're gonna
Philadelphia.
talk about.
Philadelphia is not number one.
This is not the Sixers. I will say that
Okay,
ahead
good.
of time. But we're gonna talk about who's gonna make it out of the East, and it's not gonna be
Oh.
the Celtics. It's gonna be the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh, I was thinking New York Knicks for a second.
No,
I think this
I
is
don't
the
like it.
year that Giannis and Dame
Nah.
are going to make it all the way. I don't know if they're going to win the chip. I think they'll knock off Boston. I just think, look, this year we saw they had injuries. I understand who their coach is. I understand they have Doc Rivers. I understand that hinders their potential. But say they can get past that. You just added an excellent two guard in Gary Trent that has played next to Damian Lillard before. You have Damon Giannis, obviously. Maybe Brook Lopez can find his form again. Maybe he won't suck again. You have Bobby Portis, an immediate Sixth Man of the Year candidate. And Chris Middleton, maybe he could find his stride again. That's 6 key rotation players, plus Taurean Prince, who's proven, I guess, in a way to be somewhat reliable. I guess in certain situations. And then you got Delon Wright, defensive guard. You got some nice depth in Milwaukee. The coaching staff, I also will say, improved a little bit. Darvin Ham, look, he's a good assistant, even if he sucked as a head coach. I just think this, again, it's a hot take, but I think Milwaukee will knock out
Team
Boston and take the
pockets.
East. Yeah.
I have
Well,
a conspiracy
number one
theory for
thing-
this.
The
After
X
Manas
factors.
goes.
So the X factors for Milwaukee, it's how Middleton and Lopez play, and given
they
how
age.
how
How
they
well
play
they
next
age.
season. Well, because I feel like their play is probably going to be similar to what they did last season. Because I mean, at this point they are over 32, 33 years old, both of them. And if Middleton can find his form back, that's great. But with Dame there, I don't think he's going to be that two option he was when they won back in 2021. And for as far as Brook Lopez goes, he's nearing 40. He's closer to 40 than he is to 30. And his three-point shooting dipped, his defense you could see dipped a little bit. I guess going back to Hunt's point in aging, how is for Brook Lopez, I do have the question, how is he gonna age? And does it get to the point where you start Bobby Portis and bring Lopez off the bench?
Gonna say I don't know if they're gonna play Lopez as much as they did last year. Let's just say maybe he plays a little bit better, but I think Portis is also gonna take another step up. And I mean with Middleton, I understand he's aging. He experienced some injuries last year, so again, this is assuming all health is clear for the playoffs. But he stepped up last year when they needed him to. When Dame and Giannis were out, he won them one of those games with that one amazing game winner. So
No, they
look,
lost that one.
whatever sent the game to overtime. That's my bad. But anyways, he's proven he can be clutch. They have a team. If I'm Milwaukee, I like my team. Especially now after Gary Trent. So
I have a conspiracy theory for this. I'm not gonna lie.
okay.
Um, Obviously, this isn't gonna mean anything, I don't think. But I don't remember who went on a podcast. I want to say it was Patrick Beverly. It might have been. It was one of the guys on the championship team for the Bucks, actually, I think. But whatever. They were talking, and apparently, because Thanasis had COVID during the final series,
Hmm.
and this dude was like, Giannis was like low key freaking out that Thanasis wasn't there, and like he looked like he was off his game, and he was struggling in the game and
Was it
whatever.
Jeff Teague?
And huh?
Would it have been Jeff Teague who said that? I feel like he says this stuff
Oh, maybe
often.
it was. I think it was Jeff
Yeah,
Teague.
because I remember he
Yeah, so
did
they
play on the
lost the
Bucks for a
first
bit.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost the first two games to Phoenix, and Thanasis had COVID, and like 3 days later, Jeff Teague is like, yeah, we don't know what happened, but somehow he got past the restrictions. He showed up to the game, and then Giannis started going crazy. They win the series,
Hmm.
and he's like, and then we did the parade, and Thanasis had to be like in his own little car because he tested positive for COVID again, and
That's crazy.
and I don't. And Thanasis isn't on a contract. He tore his ACL or something like that. He has an injury, and the Milwaukee Bucks did not pick him up again. Um, so I don't know if that's going to affect Giannis at all. I don't think it will because it's Giannis, but kind of something funny to think about. Although I don't agree Milwaukee's beating Boston. I don't see it.
I think the only team that has a chance to beat Boston this year,
Yeah.
New
barring some
York.
barring some incredible development from any individual young player, Evan Mobley, is going to be New York. New York has two. They're the only team in the entire league actually that has like two high-level two-way wing defenders. I would say like Pelicans have two, except Herb Jones doesn't have much of an offensive game. So New York's got two guys that can play like 30 minutes without like nonstop on both sides of the ball, in McCall and OG. And then obviously they have one of the better creators in the league, in Jalen Brunson. Um, their backline's a little weak, but then that's not a problem against specifically, I think, against Boston because they play
Honestly, I
five
think
out
their bench
anyways.
is very nice.
No, I say their backline, their big men. They lost
Oh,
Yeah,
they,
That's
they
the
they're
one
lost they lost
issue.
Hartenstein. They still
I mean,
they haven't
they have
officially
Jericho
re-signed
Sims.
Precious yet, right?
No. Right now it's Jericho
oh,
Sims, so it's not a
Jericho
lot to be confident
Sims.
about.
Yeah, but that's not a big
It's
problem
fine. They have
against
the picks to get somebody
specifically.
in the season if they
Yeah, it's
really wanted to.
specifically not a problem
but
against
they don't have the salary to
Boston.
match, though. That's the only problem.
That's true. And
Um,
also, I'm
Because
talking
who they
like
move?
before
right
they had
now.
Bojan to match salary
Yeah, that's
for
true.
someone. That's
This
how
could
they
be a
got
cheap
Bridges.
contract.
This could
Uh,
change like
did they
later on,
keep for
but
is Fournier still there? Is his contract still on the team?
No,
No,
Fournier's in
he's
Detroit,
in
brother.
Detroit.
didn't his
Oh,
contract end though? I think he's a
right.
free agent. Or
Oh, I
unless
don't
they brought
know.
No,
him
I was
back.
thinking like salary matching purposes specifically.
Well, that
But
was the Bojan deal.
yeah, it was. You're right. You're right. I'd forgotten that he existed. Yeah, the salary
Either
is
way,
going to be a
Jericho
problem.
Sims is fine enough. He's gonna play like 10 minutes a game. It's whatever.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they
But
need now
Mitchell
is
Robinson has gotten injured so much in the
yeah,
past.
they
That's
need a
the
backup
biggest
for
problem.
Mitchell Robinson, so
Like
they need to
trade
rebound
Sims is
him.
gonna have to play more than
Randall at the 5
the 10.
is not something. It's something decent, but it's not something
Yo,
I
wait,
love.
they got Keita Bates Diop. That
Oh
brother is
yeah,
gonna
he
run
was
the
included in the McHale trade.
a KBD at the 5, dude. He's 6'8".
Yeah,
Man,
So
I remember when I thought he
Small
was
ball
going
five.
to be good in Phoenix.
But yeah, I
nobody's good
thought
in
you
that
would
system,
be a
dude.
rotational piece at least.
He should have been.
I
I don't know
remember
why they
his,
didn't use him more.
I think the problem with Phoenix's offense
yeah,
is they just straight up just needed shooters. Think about why Grayson
they
Allen
need
did so well is because
defenders.
he blossomed as a shooter, and they were like, great, you get all of our minutes as shooting guard that aren't Devin Booker because we need shooters. You know, like I don't feel like if you weren't a plus shooter, they simply couldn't afford to play you because the three stars weren't going to space for each other. So they didn't have much of a literal role, like the space to put a role that wasn't a shooter because everyone else needed driving lanes. You know, that's my problem with. That's what I think went wrong in the Phoenix offense. But that's still a problem this year because they can't get rid of any of those three guys. So, Monster's hot take.
Take, I was actually just thinking about this, not a real hot take or anything, but the Knicks should trade Randall for Jared Allen. I know you're gonna hate
We
this.
wouldn't do that. Why would
Yes,
the
you would.
Cavs take? Oh my
That's a
God.
lose-lose
So
in my
Mobley
opinion.
can play center.
So
Unless
Mobley
they
can
trade
play
Mitchell
center. You
Robinson.
get
I
no,
wouldn't.
look,
No.
Mitchell
Why would we
Robinson
move
off the
him?
bench.
No. I would.
They're
I
not
would be
bringing him
fine
off the
moving
bench.
Jared Allen for a wing.
They did that
Julius Randle
last
mucks up
playoffs.
our spacing. He's
No,
And Jared Allen doesn't?
but Jared Allen can protect the rim. What can Julius
Hey,
Randle
so can
defend?
So can
Mobley.
Mobley. That's crazy.
No,
Yeah.
but look, Jared Allen can do one thing that Julius Randle can't do. Julius Randle
What?
can't guard a parked car. He's a
He
net
can.
loss. No, he can't. Not
Randall
anymore.
Yes,
in
but you
New
have
York,
other
he's
plus
not a bad
defenders.
defender.
You have Strus who's good. I mean, you have Mobley. Like, bring Okoro back, maybe.
Han, just
And,
admit that you want Mobley to stay as an overpaid player, buddy.
No, I
He's
just
not
don't want
gonna
Julius
do
Randle on my team, bro.
anything.
I feel like if you
Mobley as
ask
center
most
will
NBA fans,
unlock
they
him.
would rather have whoever they're.
Randall, you trading for Randall makes your team better than it is now. I'm telling you right now.
correct.
Maybe
Yes,
this
You
is
need
not.
another
Maybe it's
creator.
not.
That's another thing. Darius Garland has been booty dookie at creating. At least Julius Randle can be a number 2 and do it well.
And maybe this is hot. Maybe it's not. But this is Mobley's ceiling as a power forward.
That's
Moving
true. No,
him to
that's
center.
not. That's not hot.
I agree.
That is true.
Yeah.
Unless
so
he
move him to center.
He needs to be a center to unlock.
barring a gigantic
potential.
jump in 3-point shooting, which he when he came back from the ankle injury he had, he was shooting much better. I think he was shooting like 38% on low volume. I think it was like 2 a game, which isn't bad for a third year. But the problem is it's not good. 38% on 2 attempts isn't good by any means. So barring an increase there, this is his ceiling as a power forward, which is kind of a shame. He still hasn't gotten
Exactly.
that
That's why you
KG
move
style
him to
offensive
center.
game yet, because his offensive he doesn't have he doesn't have a deep bag for a big man. He doesn't have a post bag.
I mean,
specifically.
I get it if you don't want to move Jared Allen for Julius Randle. I know you kind of prefer like Zach Collins and Keldon Johnson. I think that would be pretty good.
I would prefer Brandon Ingram, but we can't get that.
You're
So
not getting
That's
me
worse than
into-
Randle.
That's also
Jared
true.
Allen for Brandon Ingram.
Ingram
I
wants
mean,
like a $250
in a way,
million
it's a
plus
win-win,
contract,
but-
bro.
yeah, that's true. We can't pay him. No, we don't want. No one wants to pay him.
And
Yeah, because he's not good enough.
you know how you say Mobley does not rebound? You know who does? Julius Randle.
That's
Mobley
true.
averaged
Trash.
11, above 10 rebounds this year as a power forward.
Yeah, but
He's
you
good.
said
so now
he's
you have 2
weak
rebounders,
at
even
rebound,
better.
though.
Yes,
Jared
sir.
Allen is a good
Yeah.
rebound. Oh my.
Yeah, now you have a
I'm
better
done.
floor
We're talking about
spacer.
that.
No,
You
but
have
look.
0 spacing with Mobley and Jared Allen on the court
Yeah,
together.
3
You said it
shooters,
yourself.
2 non-shooters will never work. It's never
That is
gonna work.
true.
in
I need Evan Mobley to start taking like 4 threes a game and like.
No, but
Kinda knock you
even
down.
then, if Evan Mobley becomes a good shooter and you get Randall instead of Allen, then you've got 5 shooters.
I want
Your
to take
defense is still good because Mobley is still a good defender. Randall was not bad at all in New York. I don't know if it's a Tibbs thing or he's improved himself, but you're looking at a better overall 5 that's fitted compared to what the
Cleveland
Cavs
pick
had.
up as their new coach?
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Yeah.
And that's their
Ah.
only significant offseason move. I want to think that there's not going to be much improvement. I thought when they were making the
Yeah,
head
there
coaching
won't.
change, they were willing to change around the roster, but they didn't get rid of Garland. They didn't get rid of Allen. And they managed to keep Mitchell, I'll give them that, but the roster stayed the same.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Yeah,
we got to make a move
Cleveland
at
I don't
some
know if
needs
point.
any
to do
team will
something.
want Darius Garland like that.
I know, but
Dude,
still,
apparently
if
the
you're
Spurs want
Cleveland,
him, dude.
I'm sure there's a
We
I
package
did,
want
out
but
him.
there
now
that
we
you
have Chris
like.
Paul, Stephon Castle. We're chilling.
No, after that,
Oh,
reports
ew,
came out that
gross.
it's him and Nemhard that we're targeting.
I wouldn't
Nemhard
mind
just
Even
got
though
Nemhard.
extended, so
Nemhard
you're
Nemhard
not
is
getting him.
nice.
You're not getting Nemhard.
Nemhard
He got
can be
extended.
traded for another 6 months.
Well, yeah,
So
because
I
of his
mean,
new
he's
extension.
off.
And why would
Yeah,
Indiana
he's
It's
off
trade him at
okay.
this
We're not
point?
getting Garland. We're getting Laurie.
Hopefully. But
If you
now
guys
that
get
I
Larry
think about it,
Markkinen, new dynasty. It's gonna be you guys in OKC running the West in
I don't think dynasties are gonna be a thing anymore, though.
No, probably not.
Yeah, I think we can
I
all
think
agree on
Oklahoma
that.
City.
So it's not a hot take.
No, so this is gonna be my other take, like for a hot take. Oklahoma City genuinely could become a dynasty. They have so much.
Wemby's stopping that.
Yeah. Just wait till
It's
Stephon
not
Castle
happening.
clamps up SGA.
That's kind of funny. That's actually really
Look,
funny.
here's the thing: Chet can't guard Wemby, but Wemby can guard Chet. And we've
Chet
seen
Holmgren
it.
is like their fourth option, dude.
He's their
Well,
third
yeah,
Third
but
option.
option.
look-
Third option. Third option.
Hey, you know who Wemby can't guard? Joel Embiid.
No, Zach
Zach
Collins
Collins
can't guard Joel Embiid, buddy.
No
You
one
know
cares
what
about
Joel
Joel
Embiid
on this
can't do?
podcast.
18
Get
points were
past the
scored on
second
Wemby
round.
again.
Still dropped 70 on the Spurs. I mean,
Dude, did you
Say
see Joel
something
Embiid
or
today
not.
say that he doesn't understand why people don't like him?
That was funny.
I don't understand why he's making these comments. He's making himself more
It's like,
hateable.
bro,
I'm just talking about his
No,
game
this
on
is
the
like
court.
this is exactly what he did during the COVID year. Remember when he what was it? Where was he? Was he on Twitter or was he on Twitch? Where he was like he created a troll account. Remember, Troel Embiid, and that was just his
Probably
entire
Twitter.
personality.
Boy, Joel Troel.
Yeah, that was his entire personality for a solid year. Was just I respond to haters with funny memes on Twitter. He's doing it again, just on podcasts now. It's like, dog. Philadelphia is going to become easily one of the most hated teams in the league.
They
I
already
guarantee
are,
you.
bro.
No, but like it's going to get worse. Like
Dude,
once the
Maxey's
first
their
podcast
only
clips
likable
drop,
player.
once the first
Oh, I like
once the
Ricky
first
Council, though.
Paul George clips drop, it's over.
And he's
It's so
out.
over. It's done. No, get ready for
And
your
they
to
have
get
Jared
sound on
McCain,
more than they
too.
already are. Oh yeah, people are gonna make fun of Jeremy McCain's TikToks.
Full-time TikToker, part-time
Have
basketball
you
player.
seen him? Have you seen him? He got like interviewed and he was like, I already know what people are gonna do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, Jared, we need you to hit a three. It's gonna be a video of him hitting a TikTok dance.
Just
Yeah, I
know,
remember that,
just
yeah,
know, just yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god, did he
God.
just sing a TikTok
Should have
song?
taken Dalton Connect.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have. Or
Con-
Tristan De Silva.
Connect is a better-
Tristan De Silva was
Yeah,
really nice
De
in
Silva
summer
or
league.
Connect. I think they're
No, but
better
like,
than
if you
McCain
knew you were
and
gonna
better.
bring in Paul George, I would take Connect then because you do like it's a better fit, you know, and it
Well,
allows.
De
De
you to-
Silva's
Silva's
a
a
four.
4.
De Silva's a
So-
4.
I thought he played closer to the 3. Like
He
was
can
on ball.
He's
play
like a-
three, but
he's a
he's
first
on ball
size for
forward.
4.
He could
Fair
probably
enough.
play
Yeah,
a
he's
three.
what 6'9"? He's big.
Yeah.
I think he's like
guess.
6'9",
6'8" and a
6'10".
half, 6'9".
Oh, 6'8" and a half. Oop.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like
I mean,
I feel
that's
like that's a little
average.
redundant with an on-ball wing in or on-ball wing forward in Paul George, but whatever. Do we want to do the game?
Let's do it.
Sure.
I'm on a share screen, pull up connections, and let's run the game.
This is gonna be kind of awkward for podcast listeners
Connections.
or for Spotify listeners.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Spotify listeners, we're gonna be playing LeConnections. It's one of our favorite things to do. as a
It's
group outside.
connections.hoopgrids.com, right? I've never played this.
It's
Oh.
it's LeConnections.app.
Yeah, like
Connections.
yeah.
So Hoop Grids is a
And
different thing. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it in another episode.
we've already done one hoop grids a while ago, so
Yeah,
maybe
and
we'll do it later.
I
We
cooked
did.
on it.
Oh
You
yeah.
kind of torched.
All right.
Okay, Lee Connections. I found it.
The Let Connections. You don't say
Yeah,
LeBron
honestly.
Lee
James.
Connections. Oh, okay, this. Okay.
Les Sperm.
Cool.
What is wrong with you,
Let
Lucas?
me share.
I saw somebody
Alright.
with a Bronny jersey, and instead of James on the back, it says Les Sperm, and it makes me
That's
laugh.
good. Oh,
What a waste of $120 to get that custom, dude. Like, dead ass.
yeah. That's just
No,
someone trying to
is
be
that-
funny.
Is that Brandon Roy?
I
I
can't
can't
even
see
see.
from this. distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, zoom in a bit. Okay.
That works.
I don't
Thank
see
you.
Brandon Roy.
Oh, that's a little far.
Oh no, that's not Brandon Roy. I was looking at the
Ben
dude in Tim
Wallace,
Roll's jersey.
Kareem, Tim Duncan. Is that Chauncey Billups?
That's Chauncey. Yep.
I'm assuming
Portland.
Wallace, Kareem,
Tayshaun
Duncan.
Oh
Yes.
wait, the Pistons.
Where's Chauncey's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's the
Because
Pistons. The
Ben,
Wallaces, Billups, and Prince, right? The Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, check it. See what it is.
perfect. Yep,
Hey,
that was easy.
all right, orange.
Hey, let's get
Hold
it.
up. Claxton
All right.
and Cam Thomas, Bojan Bogdanovic. There's got to be one more current
This
net.
Shake Milton, right here.
Yes, that's a net. Those are the nets.
Yeah, Nets. Was
Stop
that
moving the screen, bro.
That's it.
Just zoom out. Zoom out all the way. Yeah, just keep it zoomed
Ah.
out. You got it.
This is gonna be raw.
okay?
Oh,
one was
KD, Ibaka, Adams, and Collison were all on the Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah.
This was too
And
easy,
then
man.
Kobe,
We gotta do another one.
LeBron, Duncan, Kareem. We got to do another one
That's
too.
probably 5 rings or something like that.
All-time. LeBron
Third,
doesn't
LeBron
have.
yeah.
doesn't have 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's some all-time stat. Yep.
Already All-Star, All NBA.
light work.
Wait,
Um,
30?
Do the Hall
That's
of
a
Fame
ridiculous
one.
number.
Let's run a Hall of Fame grid.
Oh yeah, let's run Hall of Fame. Let's
Play
try that.
HOF.
All right.
Oh, this one's a. I've never
Oh, I
played
think
this before.
I think I've. This one is by 5, and you have
Luca,
unlimited.
Aiden. That makes me think
Luca,
that one
Ayton,
draft.
Bagley.
And Trey's there too in
Or-
Bagley, so top 5 picks. Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Bagley at?
I also see Zion, Paulo, and Kyrie. Not to get ahead, but that's number 1 pick from
Drafted
Duke.
before
LeBron's
Obama.
in the corner.
Drafted before Mo Bamba is insane.
Yo,
You could've
what?
just said- You could have just said that draft class. Anyways,
First 5 picks of the 29 or 18 draft class.
Are there
I
any
see
other
some
Duke
Lakers
guys
jerseys.
or number 1 overall players? Well, besides LeBron, because Kyrie,
Duke
Paulo,
guys.
Zion, all number 1 picks from Duke. So I don't know if it's Duke or.
I don't
Is it
know. I
Duke
don't know
or
my
Is
college
that
basketball
Elton
like that.
Brand? Did he go to Duke?
I would
No,
guess
but
because
wasn't
that.
Elton Brand a number 1 pick?
We
Well, I
got
don't know
4
if it
number
is
1
number
picks
1 overall
here.
picks.
We
I'm
got
just saying
5.
those-
Zion.
Oh, Zion too, yeah. I mean, these are number 1 picks. I don't know if it's.
Try
I
it.
wouldn't
I
go with
mean,
that just yet. No, I wouldn't go with that just
Hey,
yet.
we have unlimited guesses, Han.
yeah,
Oh, we do?
Oh, do we?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try this.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I-
Yeah.
All right, so I
Not-
think it's
not even
Duke
plus
guys.
one.
I think it's gonna be Kyrie, Zion, Paulo, and then I think Elton Brand went to Duke, right? Or no? I thought he went to Duke.
I'm not sure.
Oh, hold on. You have Kobe, Horry, Rick Fox, whoever that bald dude is, and Derek Fisher on the Lakers.
Whoever that bald dude is.
where?
Top left.
Derek Fisher.
Oh, that's Derek Fisher. That brother's old. That-
Well, yeah, because that's when he was in OKC.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, this is one of the
Most games of Shaq's
Oh,
team.
alright.
Okay.
interesting. I didn't
That's-
realize that
that's a
was.
good-
Who's that guy in the bottom left?
Like Ricky Pierce or something like that.
All right.
He
If I
is
had to
playing
guess, also I'd say
Sam Perkins.
Malone
Sam
and-
Perkins, I'm slow.
would Malone and Stockton be together? Would it be Robinson,
Malone,
LeBron, Jordan?
Stockton.
Malone,
Stockton, Chris Paul, a couple other
Oh
guys
no,
for
it can't
assists.
be all time. It can't be all time scoring because Kobe isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, what if it's Stockton, Chris Paul, LeBron, and 2 others for like assists or something?
Stockton, Chris Paul, LeBron.
I don't know if there's 2 others though.
Not
There
Kyrie
aren't.
for sure.
Highest assists. Magic would have to be on here somewhere.
That's true. Who's that dude? Wait, who's that dude above Karl Malone? I missed it.
Art Haven. I have no
Heyman.
idea
I
who
have
that
no
is.
clue who that is.
What's that jersey?
Hartford. It's not even an NBA team jersey. Let's see. Would it be like playoff assists? Harden's in it.
Oh, I could see that. Put
Maybe,
Mike,
I mean, you could do
put
KD
Mike-
in that, I guess.
Mike's played more playoff games than KD.
Playoff points per game.
Oh, that could work. I know LeBron and Mike have the most playoff total cumulative points,
Yeah.
but then Kobe would as well, probably. unless there was the New
That's
Year's where he didn't make the playoffs as much, or like didn't.
All right, wait.
I would try Karl Malone, Harden, LeBron, Mike, and KD for something playoff related.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
You also have Carmelo in here.
Scoring.
You just want to try normal scoring. No,
Was that one away or no?
you didn't see it.
Nah, I don't-
Oh, I didn't know if Manas saw it since he was in Toronto.
Carmelo, KD.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What if it's
Chris Paul, James Harden, Stockton, and Malone all don't have a ring.
I mean,
and
that's-
Carmelo?
doesn't have a
Yeah.
ring.
All right.
Carmelo.
Then
Carmelo,
Carmelo,
Zara
yeah.
doesn't have a ring.
Yeah, but we're talking about older guys. Come on now.
I don't think it's gonna be in it though.
Let's see if we get lucky, or if we're just
It's not lucky,
that
it's
skilled.
skill.
One away.
One away.
What's the one? What do these guys
Would be
want?
Carmelo? I don't know.
Well, we have Carmelo here. Then who?
Maybe it's not ringless then, but
Hold on. Maybe it's one of the two guys that I know nothing about. Try the Sam
Would it be
Perkins or
playoff?
whatever.
No. What if it's playoff points per game without a ring or something like that?
No, try
I really want you
either
to.
the grayscale dude or Sam Perkins. Trust me.
I really
I have a
want you to
feeling
try my
about it.
Duke one. I don't know who the fifth would be, so I would say put the one unknown.
It's still
Okay,
one
so
away,
try Sam
but
Perkins.
Oh.
it means it wasn't Carmelo.
Yeah.
Most
I'm
playoff
crazy.
games are
Oh.
covered.
All
You're
right.
insane.
I'm crazy.
Hold up.
Go
Go.
work.
I swear.
This makes
I
it
think
considerably easier.
I'm like 90% now that Elton Brown went to Duke. I think it's Duke, guys.
Duke guys.
There's
Then
4,
this
and then
guy?
I'm guessing that guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Probably have to.
Duke number one
Yeah,
overall.
there
pick.
you
All
go.
right.
What a
all right.
what a pull! Oh,
Team
What was that
USA.
That makes sense.
oh. Okay.
Dang, I didn't know D-Rob was that high on the list.
We did it in reverse
he's
order
part of the
too.
dream
Would you
team.
look at that?
Look at us. No,
But
I think
this
Blue's
is like
the hardest.
literally the easiest one though.
They were all pretty
feel like-
easy, to be honest. I would say, like, if you think about it just for a little bit.
The
Like,
hardest was
the categories
probably
are all pretty
the
easy.
middle. I think middle was probably hardest.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess you
most
could
playoff games
find
without
out
a
these
ring.
four. It's just him.
All right, man.
Polite.
Good work.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Very nice. Very nice job.
So, Pod, if you're watching, that is us playing LeConnections. We're gonna do a couple more of these games over the next couple of weeks as the off season drags out. Spotify listeners, you can go hop on over to the YouTube at your earliest convenience to go see that game played out with the visual. Monas does jump around on the screen a little bit, but other than that, it is an accurate representation of what's going on. Thank you guys for listening in. As always, see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.